Tidy up the referee situation. So apparently Andy Madley, the referee tonight, spoke to the managers at 6:30 before the game and said, if you want to come and see me at any point, you can. He didn't specify, here it is, you can see this there, he didn't specify whether that was at half-time or full-time. We do know that Arne Slot went to go and see him at the break after 45 minutes, and obviously Eddie Howe wasn't best pleased about that. I'm sure there's going to be more said and more written and more spoken about that in the future. But it's interesting.
I mean,
to know exactly
in the background as well, so I don't know if he's jumped in on the back of Arne Slot talking to him as well. But it is a strange time to talk to the referees. Normally after the game, Rob, if they want to speak to him.
I mean, I don't know the reason why he would have went in there. I mean, I don't think there was anything that was untoward in the first half, controversial. I mean, Newcastle good value for that performance in the first half with it going in. I mean, I don't know what else to add to that.
Should we go through the goals? Because we might be here for half an hour.
Yeah.
Let's start with Isak, because it seems like an eternity ago.
Yeah.
He had a great first half, provided a lot for some of the other Newcastle forwards, but then at 70 miles an hour, Shay, absolutely leathered this one into the back of the net.
I think Eddie mentioned in his interview as well after the game, it was the Alexander, we call him Alexander the Great up here because he's a brilliant striker, there's no doubt about that, and I think it just sat up lovely, as I said, at half-time. Took a little skip off the turf, and that made it even easier, I think, on his weaker right foot. They lash it in, and we talk about Caoimhin Killer, no chance. It's an absolute rocket, and it's as I say, Alexander needs to score more goals this season, and hopefully his performance tonight he will do.
Yeah, I think it's a good strike. He took it early, which obviously the keeper hasn't really got his footing right or his feet right, but that was a great goal. And they deserved that, Newcastle. They were very, very good in the first half.
And he was at the centre of quite a lot of that, wasn't he, Shay? He really shone for Newcastle this evening.
Yeah, and he mentioned the chances as well, both in each half. Anthony Gordon, you mentioned already, and obviously Murphy second. Very, very similar chances. Caoimhin makes a very good save first half, and then I thought Murphy maybe could have went round him second half with a chance. He took it early. Obviously, the goal was gaping and just knocked it wide.
Just to let you know, Arsenal against Manchester United is still going on, and Arsenal have just gone 2-0 up now. Saliba's made it 2-0 to Arsenal, so they will, if they win that game, narrow the gap on Liverpool to 7 points. 1-1, Curtis Jones. We talked about him before the game. We talked about his impact on this season, and he had an impact on this game as well, Robbie.
Yeah, I think we wanted, obviously, Liverpool to make an impression early in the second half, and he did that. Bit of a mistake by Lewis Hall, and obviously Salah goes down. Great finish by obviously Curtis. Takes a little bit of deflection, but it's probably what Liverpool have probably needed to do all night. We're getting runners into the box. They probably didn't have enough in that first half. Straight into the second half, they come out and they show why they scored the amount of goals they do, because they were sharper to everything in the second half.
Just find a way, don't they? Even when they're not playing particularly well. In that first half, you think, how can they come back and get something out of this game? And they do straight away.
They do that. I mean, the first half, I thought they were not poor, but they weren't the Liverpool that we've seen. But they are a team who find moments. They know when to sort of lift the game. You know, Clive mentioned it at half time and throughout the commentary. They are a team who can create something out of nothing. They've done that in the second half, whereas they were good value for it. They were good value. Started getting forward, started creating chances. But again, I know Curtis scored that goal through the assist of Mo. But Mo was very good, wasn't he?
I was going to mention Salah on that. I mean, brilliant run from Curtis Jones in the box and a brilliant finish. That could be nick off Dan Burn. But the ball from Mo Salah, sometimes it goes unnoticed. You talk about assists, I don't really like talking about assists, but when Mo Salah strokes over the outside of his foot, straight into his path, you know, what a player.
We can't see that from behind the desk.
Sorry,
that was a lovely left foot,
That's me swinger as well, Dan.
We'll get to Mo Salah's goals in a moment, but Anthony Gordon, who had that chance in the first half, and Eddie Howe said, you know, their heads didn't drop, and they came back and they went ahead again through Gordon.
Yeah, well, that's amazing with the game. It ebbed and flowed end to end. Like, it was such a great game. If you're a neutral fan watching this game tonight, you'd be absolutely buzzing. Like, it's a Premier League at its highest order. And Anthony played well tonight again. I think he's this year, you know, some good games, some bad games. But I felt tonight he was back to his probably best again, and he tucked it away really nice. He had a bit of composure here as he sat the defender down and just got enough on it to get a past Keller in the goal.
Let's concentrate on Salah then. I've got some stats for you. That's the 37th time tonight that he's scored and assisted in the same game, which is more than anybody else in the Premier League.
I mean, his stats and his data are incredible, Arnie. We spoke before the game about obviously getting his new contract, and he should be that man. You know, the contract's agent should be there first thing in the morning, just getting him to get that. But he is that player that he changes games. You know, okay, he wasn't great in the first half, but he has moments, and he is exceptional in those moments, and he is a game winner.
And here's the 2-2. Well, let's look at that. Because it's just these moments in games where he is the different Shay, and there was that pure quality, and we saw Darwin Núñez have some opportunities and not find the back of the net, but Salah shows him how to do it.
Well, Darwin was struggling, to be honest, but this guy is just natural, like, and picking up positions, assists, whatever you want to call it. But I think it's this. Look at that for a finish. That's in his right foot. Now, that's my swinger. We're talking about swinger. This is his weaker foot, Dan, and he strokes us in with ease. I mean, it's a top-class finish. We talked at maybe half-time or before the game about how good he is and where he is in the legends of Liverpool. He is right up there at the very, very top. I think Nunes might have snatched that and missed it, and he just passed it into the corner.
I think what Shay just said there as well, I think the anticipation. So I think a few times, obviously, Darwin Nunes gets into an area where his anticipation's a little bit too slow. With Mo, you sort of expect him to be where the ball should be, whereas the number 9, Darwin Nunes, he probably waits for something to happen, as opposed to Mo Salah, who makes things happen.
Salah's also the second ever player to have 2 separate runs of scoring 7+ straight league appearances for Liverpool. For once, you're not the other end of that stat. It's John Aldridge.
He's not a bad player, is he?
Yeah.
He's not a bad player.
Aldo or Mo Salah?
John Aldridge was 1987 and 1989, but Salah delivers again, and not only for 2-2. Again, he thought, and the Liverpool fans high up in the gold tier at St James's Park thought he won them the game at 3-2. And both of you said when you saw this, you just shouted finish, because it was brilliant forward play.
I mean, everything about him, he just knows what to do. He knows what to do in certain positions. But this one is obviously the touch. So, I mean, Liverpool obviously worked the ball. Obviously, Diaz came on, done really well. But Liverpool trying to get a little bit of an opening. Newcastle defending really well. A little bit of an overs there. But it's touch from Mo, and then obviously to swivel and then find that bottom corner. OK, goes through the defender's legs. But let's not take nothing away from his touch, because his touch is first class and the finish is even better.
I mean, the subs as well. We talk about Arne Slot making the right substitutions. A brilliant step over from Szoboszlai in the edge of the box, and then it's Trent Alexander, one of the best right foots, I suppose, in the Premier League. But Robbie rightly mentions Mo Salah's first touchdown is world class. And now, I mean, I don't say that lightly. Unbelievable. There's so many players around him. He swivel. We all say the goal never moves. Robbie does it. It's a brilliant finish.
From a goalkeeper's perspective, there, Nick Pope, there's not much he can do. When you're looking through that sea of players, Shay, and you've got a player like Salah, you know his quality. Are you panicking at that point?
Well, you're not panicking. You're hoping he hits it somewhere in your vicinity. I think it goes through Cher's legs as well. I think Nick Pope's got no chances. It's just brilliant centre forward player, whatever we want to call him, right winger play, whatever.
We talked about Nick Pope, and you talked throughout the game and before particularly about how good Kelleher has been. Just one moment of hesitancy, and that is what produced the 3-3 for Fabian Cher.
Yeah, I feel for Queven because he's done so well. He's been absolutely brilliant. I spoke to Arne Slot before the game saying he should stay in the team. He's done that well, and one mistake doesn't make him a bad goalkeeper. It's just a misjudgment. I don't think he felt that Cher was going to reach it, and he thought it was just going to go out for a course of goal kick, and he just overed it, didn't he? He didn't deal with it, I suppose. I think if you're in any doubt, Dan, as a goalkeeper, he probably needs to flick this on, or at least catch. You can see he's in a good position, and he just takes his hands away at the last second and take nothing away. The Cher, if you pause that 10 times, Cher could probably never finish that again. But Queven obviously would have to either get a touch on us or just help it out for a corner. He just didn't believe that Cher was going to reach it, and it's just an error, as Arne Slot says after, and Queven will learn from that.
But I think it was one of them games where you probably still expected something to happen. I know Liverpool's obviously scored late to make it 3-2, but the game wasn't finished really, because both sides created loads of chances in the second half. Mo Salah hit the post, obviously first half McAllister hit the post, Newcastle hit the post as well. So it was a game of everything. There was chances, there was goals, and really, really good performances.
Eddie Howe was frustrated, wasn't he, Shay? Do you think he will leave here tonight thinking that's a much better performance, and actually a point against a team who have dominated so many matches recently, as we said, beating the champions of Germany, of Spain and of England in the last month or so? That's a good point for Newcastle.
I think it's a brilliant point. I really do. I would have took this before the game. Newcastle, we talk about the consistency wasn't there, but the consistency of the performance, I said to Eddie there, if they can keep that level of performance up, they'll be totally fine this season and hopefully push for a European place. He will be disappointed with some of the goals. We look at the brilliance of Liverpool. Trent was free as a bird for that assist, for example. Why is no one tracking him? He's so good on the ball. There'll be little bits he'll pick out from a negative point of view, but the bigger picture when he wakes up tomorrow, I think it's a brilliant point.
And what's the bigger picture for Liverpool, Rob?
I mean, Liverpool are going nicely. They come here, they probably did expect to win the game, but Newcastle were very, very good and good value. Just to pick up what Shay was saying there about Newcastle, it's a good thing for Newcastle that obviously Eddie Howe's coming in and he's disappointed they haven't won the game. You've just mentioned they've gone toe-to-toe with one of the best sides in Europe at the minute and potentially could have won the game, but a draw was probably a fair result. But the fact is that your manager is disappointed in front of obviously a full house here. That speaks volumes for a Newcastle performance. It's
been a great game of football. I've really enjoyed spending the evening with you as well, fellas. Thank you very much. Let's just remind you, Cher made it 3-3. Dejected there, wasn't it? Because even though there's disappointment, yes, for Newcastle. There's a lot of positives in that game for them tonight, Shay, too.
Yeah, I mean, he should be buzzing. I think when he sees the replay of that goal as well, he had no right to score from that angle. But just we'll go through the goals in a minute, but just the game in a sense, if you're a Liverpool fan or a Newcastle fan, what a game of football. It felt like a basketball game, end to end, goals, chances, saves. It had the lot, Dan, and what a game.
I'll give you a little window into our world. We're watching up in the stand here, and every time Newcastle score, they all go wild, turn around at Robbie. Every time Liverpool score, nobody can look at Robbie Fowler. But I mean, it was end-to-end stuff, and some real quality in that game as well. And Mo Salah again. I mean, he knows what to do in front of goal, doesn't he?
I mean, first I enjoyed the game. I thought it was brilliant, to be fair. Second half, Mo Salah was unbelievable. I know he's man of the match. First half, a little bit of a bit part play, didn't really get involved. That was Liverpool, the way they played, couldn't really get into the game. Second half, I thought they were class, Liverpool. Probably draw was the third result, but Mo Salah was brilliant. And we talked about his contract and get that contract signed pretty quick.
Shall we bring in Eddie Howe? Eddie, thanks very much for joining us once again. Nice to see you. We've got the guys' assessment of that. How do you feel? How do you feel after that 6-goal thriller?
How do I feel? No, I feel positive.
Yeah?
Yeah, I feel really positive. That was a much better performance from us. First half, really good. You sort of know that with the quality that they have from the bench when they made the changes, when Trent comes on, his creativity, we were going to have a potential issue. And that's obviously their quality comes to the fore, but I thought our mental quality came to the fore as well because we hung in there and got a deserved equaliser.
Can I ask you, when Anthony Gordon's going through and it's 1-0, take me through the managerial brain thought there, because at 2-0 it's a slightly different game, isn't it?
Please score. That's like every Newcastle supporter, exactly the same emotion.
That's what Shay was saying as well.
Well, there's no other thing to think. And obviously Jacobs had quite a similar one as well. So the pleasing thing for us off the back of Crystal Palace, we created chances, we scored 3 goals. I thought we looked dynamic, athletic and played with a lot of quality.
Eddie, I just love the energy levels and the way you play. Before I'm saying about consistency, but I know if you play like that all season, you'll be flying. But from an entertainment value, before you even turn up, I said, what a game of football. I know big Newcastle ourselves, Liverpool, whatever. But for the neutral fan, what a game of football. I mean, that's why people love the Premier League. I don't know how you can be a manager and the highs and lows, but the emotions, what a special game. And you must be proud of your team tonight because obviously Liverpool top of the league for a reason, aren't they?
Yeah, really proud because I thought we matched them. We went toe to toe. We were aggressive, brave. Really, really good performance. Probably our best this season, really. Although we conceded 3 goals, and we look at the goals and be disappointed. But we kept going. We came from a goal down as well at the end to get a point. We've done that a lot this season, and that's I think the hallmark of our attitude, really.
Yeah.
Eddie, what was the difference tonight? So you talk about the game of the weekend where you didn't really create any chances, but tonight you created a load of chances. What was the game plan? What was said to the lads to?
Yes, the game plan was to be ourselves, and I think that's very difficult to do against a team like Liverpool because they have obvious threats and you need to control them, but you can focus too much on their strengths and take away from your own. So it's that delicate balance of being strong enough in the game to showcase your talents. And you see the players we have. I mean, Alex tonight was, I thought, really good. Anthony was really good, and Bruno was good. And I think when you get those creative players firing as they were today, then we're some team.
Eddie, can I ask you, there's some talk that Arne Slot might have gone in to see the referee at half-time. Did you know that happened? Were you aware of that? And what sort of difference can that make?
I don't think I'll go there.
Right.
Because I think that's a can of worms that I should know.
Is that a sort of conversation that you might have with the referee at some times?
No, I tend to focus on my team, and well, I don't know what happened at half-time. I've got no idea.
I was going to ask you the bit at the end. We've not seen a replay actually, but when you broke away, Nick Pope threw it out. Were you disappointed the ref didn't let that play out? Maybe.
Well, I was, because when the 5 minutes goes up and we get a free kick, and I think there's probably about 2 minutes taken out of the game, setting up the free kick and the dynamics of that you think, well, we're going to be playing 7 here. That's what I thought. So when he blew it 5:15, I was really surprised and obviously devastated because we had a good situation.
Chance, I don't want to go back to the referee at half-time. Did you have a word with the referee after the game because of that, maybe?
Yeah, he just had a simple explanation, which you accept.
I can see you're frustrated by that. You told us about that sort of managerial mindset when Anthony Gordon went in and had the chance to make it 2-0. After a game like that, you talked about the positives, but there's obviously a few lingering thoughts as well. At what point will you switch to think about the next game and forget about some of the negatives from tonight?
Well, as soon as I've done with the press conferences, it's on to Brentford and it's on to that preparation, which we actually always start a few days before anyway. So I think you learn when you're in management for long enough that I have been, you sort of can close doors quite quickly and then open new ones. Because if you linger in whatever situation, it can only be negative.
Really appreciate your honesty and your time tonight. Thank you, man. Eddie Howe.
Arne, crazy second half. What's your verdict coming away with a point from that?
Yeah, we were two times we were 1 goal down, and 1 minute before the end we were 3-2 up. So mixed feelings then, but yeah, we were outstanding the second half, but the first half we were not good enough for the quality Newcastle brought. So yeah, maybe in the end 3-3 is what the game deserved.
What were the aspects in that first half that you were particularly unhappy with?
They were really aggressive, and they forced us to many mistakes, and that led to a few chances for them. Although in the meantime, I already saw a few things what I saw the second half as well. We played a few times through them, especially in the last third of the pitch. But that was the second half so much better. Then we had much more dominance, much more control, and created a lot of good opportunities.
What did you change at half-time? What was your message to the players?
No, I was happy that we were still in the game. We were only 1 goal down, and I said to them, listen, they still have to prove that they can keep this tempo and intensity for 90 minutes. And if we are doing a bit better, which I'm sure you were able to, then this game can be changed around. And yeah, I think we had more intensity the second half than the first half, and we were also much better with the ball.
Is it that reaction in the second half that pleases you the most today? Because your team has done so well this season. There's matches that they've won where they've had to show very different qualities this afternoon. It's been much harder this evening, to get this point tonight than it's been in some of the other games.
Yeah, especially after the week we had. We had 2 very tough games. Again, we had 1 day less to recover than our opponent. So if you are then 1-0 down at half-time, and the game, it looks as if it was their game. So they were more intense, they were more aggressive than us, created more chances. And if you are then able, after a week we had in an away game over here where the fans were very loud as well and helped them so much that we were able to change the game completely the second half, that is a very positive thing to take. But yeah, if you want to win the game, you need to be better the first half, and that's what we didn't do.
And Mohamed Salah, crucial again for the point. His goals and assists as well. His importance to the team, you can't understate that, can you?
No, that's clear. Every time we need him, he scores an important goal till now this season, and we're hoping and expecting that he can continue this for a long time. After the assist he gave, and when we got the 1-1, from that moment on he was outstanding, because he also hit the bar one time. He created the chance for Macau, which he shot, which was blocked. So apart from the goals, he did more special things for us. So great performance from him second half as well.
Can I ask you about your goalkeeper finally, Kevin Kelleher? The standard he's set throughout this season when he's been playing while Alisson has been injured has been very, very high. How's he feeling after that goal you conceded at the end?
I think like all the players disappointed. Like I said, we were 2 times we were a goal down. So in these moments you would have been happy with a point. But if you're 1 minute before the end 3-2 up, then you are you're close to a win. And he made again today some important saves for us, but he made the wrong judgment in the cross, and still it was unbelievable how this defender with his wrong leg could score that goal.
Thank you, Arne.
You're welcome.
The Liverpool boss speaking to Ian.